Happy Wednesday, boys and girls. Got out early on this October morning to go sailing. I'm not really sailing, just like I wasn't really kayaking the other Wednesday morning. We're out here on beautiful Lake Erie. There's the city of Buffalo behind us. Right by the city of Buffalo is the Buffalo River. That's where I was in those other videos when we were talking about the grain elevators. But now I'm not in the river, I'm on Lake Erie. I gotta pay attention to the wind a little bit. Lake Erie, great crossword puzzle clue, right? Who remembers why it's a great crossword puzzle clue? Come on, who? Who? Right, because it has 3 vowels and 1 consonant. We love those. Erie, part of the Great Lakes. Now, you live on the Great Lakes, and that's another clue for Lake Erie, is homes. Homes. The Great Lakes are your homes, and each of those letters stands for one of the Great Lakes. That's another 4th grade knowledge thing we got to know. We got Huron, we got Ontario, we got Michigan, we got Erie, and we got Superior, the Great Lakes. It's a great inland ocean. Now, we've been talking about explorers a little bit, and the explorers who were coming to North America, you'll remember, wanted to sail right through the continent to get out to the east, and they were hoping to come through. And this would have been a great place. I mean, look at all this water. We talked about how much cheaper it is to just float stuff, right? It's the best way to transport stuff. It's still the best way now. So, but they couldn't get here because there was some problems. I mean, even if they got to Lake Ontario and they went up the Niagara River, they came across a bit of a problem called Niagara Falls, right? They couldn't get around that. And actually, that wasn't the problem. The problem was up near on the St. Lawrence River near Montreal, because the water gets really shallow there, and you can't sail one of those big ships there to get to the inland ocean. And then the problem is, you remember Henry Hudson sailing up the Hudson River, you can only go as far as Fort Orange, which is today's Albany, and that's as far as you can get there. So there was no way to get to these beautiful, amazing inland oceans to do stuff. And I talked about in the boat the other day, and when I was at Silo City, about how they built these huge grain elevators back in the day. Well, none of that happened here. Even though people came here like 500 years ago, they couldn't get here until we finally dug the Erie Canal. And the Erie Canal connected Albany to Buffalo, and that allowed the Great Lakes to be opened up. So they could bring everything in through the Great Lakes, ship it down the Erie Canal, and on to the rest of the world. And we'll talk more about that as the school year goes on. But all of that went in right there by that big tower there, you see. That is right where the Erie Canal ended, right below that tower. You've been there before. It's Canal Side. It's where the bicycle boat goes. Some of you have been there before. So anyways, all of that, are we going to run out of battery? All right. Anyways, all of that made the city huge and wealthy city. As a matter of fact, at the turn of the century, there are more millionaires per capita in Buffalo than there were anywhere else in the United States. It's amazing, but we'll talk about that more as the year goes on as well. So anyways, bags and bags of money here in Buffalo, which leads us to our math journal question for this week. And it has to do with bags of money. Now, it's a story, so go along with me. This kid had all of his money saved in a bag, and he lost the bag in school. And the teacher found another bag of money as well. And he had to be able to identify his bag of money. Now, money all looks the same, but he knew that there was it was all paper bills. And he knew that there was a Washington and a Jefferson and a Lincoln involved. And so there was a $1 bill. Wait, who's on the 5? Lincoln. Yes? My helpers here are giving me answers. So Lincoln. Washington's on the 1. Who's on the $2 bill? Thomas Jefferson. Yes, there is a $2 bill involved. So he knew he had $19 in that bag, but the other bag also had $19. So he had to start thinking about all the combinations that he could make with a $1 bill, a $2 bill, and a $5 bill to make up $19. So what I want you to do is to figure out all the combinations that he could have made to get $19 in his bag of money. And when you're done, I want you to tell me which combinations of bills was the smallest amount of bills and which combination would be the largest amount of bills. Don't forget everything in your journal. How do you get 4 points? You put your name on put the title on the top. You write down the answer somewhere, so you should have 2 answers, one for the most amount of bills, one for the least amount of bills. You should show me all of your work, which would be all the combinations of bills that you could get to make $19. And then don't forget the paragraph explaining the strategy you used and how you went to solve it. Because if you were really thinking ahead and using that problem-solving strategy of making an organized list, you'll find that to be helpful. And then you should start to find a pattern and find that it should go pretty quickly. All right? So, happy math journaling, do that. And then do read to self. And then I will see you at our 10:30 Zoom. All right, what a beautiful day, huh? Here in an early morning.